Everyone, this is Planckera, and welcome to my universe. So, last time, I finished most of the back end. I'm not quite sure if all of this is correct yet. Something about the back of her head still feels a little bit off to me, so I want to kind of go look at it. I did kind of fake my way through it, so I'm not surprised that I didn't necessarily get it right. But, yeah, I just want to take a quick peek here. So, let's see, we have this kind of shape, and I remember looking at hair and stuff, and it did have this kind of shape to it, but I'm gonna bring it just a little bit lower and see if that helps a little bit. I'm still gonna be faking it. It's fine. It's gonna be mostly covered up by ponytail. And I think even if I do a view without the ponytail to let us see a little bit more of the back of the jacket here, I'm gonna tuck it on her shoulder so it would still cover that spot. So I'm not gonna worry about too strongly. Just enough to, I don't know, make the back of her head not look odd. That's about as far as I feel the need to take it. So yeah, I think that looks a little bit better. One thing I'm realizing is that sometimes when I look up references, it might be reasonable to look up stylized references as well. I actually do that pretty often. just to see what it looks like with the stylization that I'm going for, and how other people have done it. And sometimes that makes things a little bit simpler, because I mean, for one, anime tends to simplify things down a lot, so a lot of the shapes that I'm going for, you know, already simplified for me. And so I can look at that and go from there, and I do think that looks a little bit better. The back of her head looks a little bit rounder. Again, not 100% sure if it's completely accurate, but I think it's fine. And if I'm being honest, I may not even do a view where I move the ponytail. Just because, I don't know, I feel like everything that needs to be seen is already here, right? I already kind of pushed the ponytail out of the way. Maybe I should push it a little further out of the way. It's like I could, if I just did this and moved her on over just a little bit. I'd have to undo or redo some of my work on the ponytail, but you know what, that's fine. And actually, I think that's a good idea, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna push it over here a little bit more. So that this way we see a little bit more stuff, and I cover up parts that just don't matter as much, like this arm. There we go. Okay, and then I just reattach it. No problem. Yeah, I'll have to redo a bunch of stuff on the jacket, but you know what? I think I like this. I do. And actually, you know what? I think I'm even going to pull this piece a little bit further over, too. I want to show part of her shoulder. In fact, maybe what I want to do, instead of doing it piece by piece like that, I'll just get the whole thing. We'll just push the whole thing over. With this much movement, I might need to clean up the edges a little bit, but you know what? I can do that. That is really not much trouble at all. So, another case of, you know, me changing my mind a little bit. Happens a lot. It's all good. But yeah, now we can see her back a little bit better. And I think it becomes a little bit more clear that, you know, her ponytail's not necessarily flying out like this, and it would probably just go straight down. I don't know. Do I like that? Because it is true that when I picture how she's actually sitting here, I'll just pick black here. I do picture the ponytail going, like, straight down and getting all floofy and stuff. As opposed to just, you know, out here like how it was before. Now, I was moving it over there and all just be able to show things. And if I'm gonna show things, I might as well do it like this. Where we can actually, like, see things. Oh god, but then the side of her head is visible. And I'd actually have to figure out how sides of heads work. That sounds scary. That does sound pretty scary. Can I... not? Heck yeah. I kind of want to show this part of her shoulder, though. If I'm gonna do it like this. Okay. No. Oh, did I do a bunch of painting without realizing it? Okay, there it is. Nah, I think it's fine like this, actually. I changed my mind back to before. But you know what? It's always worth exploring these things. It's worth thinking about. But, no, I think what I have is fine. At most, I might just send it down like that, but I don't know, getting it out of the way makes sense here. Okay, yeah, I think I'm good. I'm not gonna worry about it. What I am gonna worry about is this shirt, though. I think I'm gonna do all of that before I go in and mess around with the details on the coat and the arm and stuff. So I just want to do it. I just want to touch it up. All right, so here we go. It's all just gonna fade into the background here because it's just hanging out back there. There's not a lot to see, but nonetheless, I gotta get the few details that are visible looking very nice. And I think most of this is fine. Yeah, looks fine to me. Maybe this guy needs a little bit more light up there. And then I'll just get this part that goes around her neck. And we'll let it fade off into the background here. I will put a little light up there just to show that that frill goes all the way through. And there we go. Okay. I think that's about it for her neck, really. Let's see, is it blurry? Because I do know that I used Liquify on it a little bit, but no, seems fine. Maybe a little bit. Not enough to make me care, though. Okay. So that should be fine there, and now I can go do this arm. So how do I feel about this sleeve here? How do I feel about this sleeve? I see that there's something peeking out there. I'm not sure what this is, actually. Where are you? What are you? Okay, you're some head residue. There we go. Whenever I see pixel dirt like that, sometimes I just get hunted down. All there is to it. Okay, so I will go ahead and make the sleeve here smooth. Right now it's pretty lumpy. And he is going to need some of his details. And I can't see clearly with some of these things here, so I'm going to go ahead and remove them. And then I can... So, there's like this thing over here, you know, the side of her sleeve, this thingy. That's going to be visible over here now, I think. And I don't mind making the sleeve look a little bit squished, because it is being a little bit squished. Like, literally, it's squishing up against her body here. So I will design it as such. I just kind of want to fix up these shapes here. I want it to give the impression that it is pressing up against her body here by her armpit. And that does change the shape just a little bit. And let's see, I think this side of her arm looks fine. This part I think needs a little bit of touching up just because of how things are changing. And indeed, before I get all of the jacket details on there, I do just want to get everything looking pretty all right here. Just get every little piece where it needs to go. Okay, and this yellow part, I'm just going to put it entirely in shadow. The details that are already there, I'll go ahead and just clean them up a little bit before I have to go in and draw the new ones. Okay, I think this is looking a lot better. Much more smooth and much more clean. I'll go ahead and get the part that's kind of pressing up against her armpit here, looking the way I want now. And I want it to be a little bit lumpy. Hello there, Shinora. But yeah, I want it to be a little bit lumpy because I want this cloth to look very thick. And this is one thing I can do to kind of give that impression. Okay. Little spot like this, just kind of separate the puffy sleeve a little bit. It very much has its own presence. Okay, and I think that's fine. What are you? Are you part of the hair that I did not erase properly? I'll just check things down there, and no, you are not. What are you? I don't actually know what that is. It does not appear to be part of the body. Are you part of the shirt? Yes. Okay. Mystery solved. That does sound pretty scary. I hope everything works out there, just... I know there are things you can do to prepare. But I assume your parents are already taking all the necessary precautions. Okay. Gotta get some cloth around this elbow. Actually, it should be really tight around the elbow, huh? I shouldn't be putting bumps or anything through there. There's gonna be some, like, on this side. But I don't think we really see them, so I'm gonna keep everything pretty smooth here. Okay. And I do need to get the shape of the arm a little bit nicer here. No, I don't like that. Let's just go straight across here, and I'll just put in a couple of folds around the elbow here, and I think that'll have the same effect. Yeah, I think that looks okay. Okay. It should look fine once I put actual shadows back on it. So we'll have the shadow on this side mostly, I think. And it'll just kind of cut around the elbow like this. And we'll have some folds going down, of course. Everything is just being pulled from the elbow because it's super tight around there. And so we'll get some shapes like this. Oh, that sounds rough. Sounds like your parents are going to be having a bit of a rough time while worrying about all that. Okay. Yeah, that looks pretty alright. I'll put in a few bumps here and there, just once again, make the cloth look a little bit thicker. And I think that's probably about it, really. Define the bottom of this puff sleeve, just so this way I know where to put the gold details on it later. Yeah, and that looks pretty good. That looks all pretty good. Do I want any more folds? Nah, I honestly think this is sufficient. Yeah, that should be enough. Looks fine to me. Okay. Now then. Yeah, I guess it's time for the jacket details, so the arm wasn't too bad. Which ones do I want to do first? I guess I'll go do the little egg bit and just plop that on her shoulder. Where do I feel like the front of it is? Probably on the side we can't see. So I'll draw accordingly. Let's see, I kind of want to line it up with this one. Let's move her ponytail briefly just so I can see where it is on this side. So let's see, this... I'm trying to remember how she's posing. Let's see, which shoulder is higher? This one's a little bit higher, right? Yeah. So I want the bottom of this to be a little bit higher, but it'll also be significantly higher because we're not seeing the entire side. So if this is going near the bottom here, probably like... If this is half... A little bit more than a quarter of the way up is where this bottom part is. So I want it to be a little bit higher than that. So where's about half here? Here. Okay, yeah, where I have it seems pretty good. The top... almost touching the top of the sleeve here, so I probably want this a little bit higher up. We'll stretch it out a little, just have it kind of like this. Yeah, that seems alright. As always, just gotta keep calm and measure. And it'll naturally be going just a little bit higher here. It's just on the other side, the side we can't see. So I think what I have here is going to be okay. And this is somewhere between illustration and a character design, so I think whatever I draw is okay. Yeah. Yeah. Seems good to me. And now I'm just paying attention to the other side over here for thickness. I'm trying to get it roughly the same thickness. And I think right around there should be good. So then we have the little white spot that goes underneath. Oh, are you not clipped? You're not, okay. Yeah, I guess I have you just a little bit of a slightly different shape, so I guess I could not clip you. Well, you know what, that's fine. I can draw it whatever way makes sense to me. I'm trying to make sure that no red is showing under there, though. Okay. Yeah, that looks alright. And... I guess I'll shade this part first. We'll make it all look nice. There's gonna be a little spot there, and then we have the lines. The little frills. There we go. Okay. Now to get this yellow part. I don't think he's gonna have too much going on here, but I guess I'll just go ahead and steal what I did here. So maybe the entire thing is gonna be in shadow then. Which I think is fine. Yeah, that seems fine. Okay, let's go and turn her hair back on. And yeah, I think that looks roughly correct. So I'll go ahead and leave it like that. And then it's occurring to me, I might want to put some lines around that, but thinking about it, but nah, I think we're good. Okay, let's go ahead and do the next yellow part, which is going to be the little cuff thinger underneath the puff sleeve here. So I think that just goes something like, starts from the corner and just wraps around. There. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Okay. Is there anything else? Any other gold parts before I just move on to drawing lines and suffering through that a little bit? I don't think so. I guess I could see if this would look good with some gold around it. Actually, kind of does, doesn't it? The gold is a little bit too similar to her skin tone, I think. But I don't know, it would break up the color of the jacket really nicely. I don't have that much gold on the back side here. I have the buttons on the front side, and of course it opens up and we have the gold of the brooch there. But I also have the gold of the soul gem here. So do I need any more? Yeah, I think I like it. So I'll go ahead and do that, and I'll just put more shadows around this, on her back, in order to kind of break that up. In fact, I think I will do that first, just so I can see a little bit more clearly. So yeah, we'll add a line going all the way around, even though it is not technically accurate. It'll just make it more clear where the gold part ends and the back begins. Put a little contrast in there. Just pull this on out. And you can see I'm trying to keep it very, very thin. Just because shadows don't really work like this. That's okay. I only kind of have to care about how they actually work. Only kind. I shouldn't ignore it completely, but what looks good is just way more important than what happens in reality. Or the way I do things. Okay. And now I just bring this all the way around. I want it to be thicker on the bottom than the top. You know, same as every other time I've done this pattern. That might be a little bit too thick though, so let me go back to the way it was. Yeah. I don't think I want it to be much thicker than that, so I'll just make it a little thinner on the top instead. The big thing with this pattern is just that the bottom is much thinner than the top. And so I can achieve that effect by making the bottom thicker or by making the top thinner. It's about how they are relative to each other. So in this case, I'm doing it by making the top thinner. Okay. There we go. That looks pretty consistent on both sides. Let me check it like this real quick. Just make sure things aren't too lopsided. Let's see, the top isn't quite right. Not quite. Just need to take a little bit off of this side. Okay. Yeah, that looks really good. I will go ahead and take my dark color here and put just a little bit of that line around here too. Just so that this way the jacket doesn't look paper thin. I don't really think it's that important here because I have that dark color on the skin. But nonetheless, I do like doing this. And I'll also add a little bit at the bottom here. This is another one of those things that doesn't make sense, but I want to make it look like this part is protruding from the jacket. And just a little bit of this could help. I could also put it on the top, but I think it makes more sense here. So doing it like this will definitely make it seem like we're seeing a little bit of the top and bottom at the same time, but it's fine. Okay. And I don't want this material to be shiny. It's going to be the same as this one. It's not metallic, so no highlights needed. We can just carry on to the white parts. Let's go. Okay, time to do some of those lines. I know that I want one, or rather two, a set of two, going around this egg here. So I'll just, oh man, very carefully do that. I should not attempt to do all this in one stroke, so. Just gonna very carefully work my way around. The pain of drawing straight lines. It keeps happening. I put them all over this design now. Okay, this not right there, but that's fine. I'll fix it later. Let's go on the top here and start working my way down. I'm trying to be very, very particular about getting this the same distance away from the egg shape. Oh, man. Oh, man. Okay, I can go back and fix certain parts of this line if necessary. I just keep putting it too far away. Let me just skip down a little bit. I'll reconnect them in a second. Go right to the part that I'm having a little bit of trouble with. And I will just softly pet it all the way around. I don't recommend petting lines like this, but, you know, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. What matters is the result, and petting your lines like this generally means you have to pull more shenanigans to make things look good. But I can't do it all in one stroke. So, here we are. I'm just doing my best. Like, I tried a few times, it did not go well, so I break it up a little. And you can see that I am having to do some more shenanigans in order to get this to be all the right width and stuff. But I think this is fine. Okay, let's do the second one. Okay, that's fine for now. Let's go start on the other side. I'm just trying to get some of these angles. Man, what is up with my pen? I swear I've gotten used to the new pen nib, but there's just some things that are just kind of funky. I'm pretty sure I updated my tablet drivers recently, so I don't know why it's panicking. I never had this problem with my terrible flat pen nib. It's like, hey, I'll wear this one down at some point. And thinking about it, I didn't throw out my old used pen nib, so if it keeps driving me insane, I might switch back to it. I'm just kind of worried that it's starting to get too flat. It was really kind of getting down to the tip of the pen there. Okay. Very shaky, but I can clean up that line and I think it'll be fine. And then when we go, like, do the sleeves and stuff where I only have those short lines, I'll show you just how much easier it is when I can do it all in one stroke. I just couldn't do this one. This one was too hard for me. But I think it's fine. It looks okay. Even at 100%, it's not, like, completely awful. There's a few spots I really should clean up, but it's working out. And then just a little thick guy right here, and I think that's probably all I need to clean. Yeah, that's probably fine. Let me work on the tip just a tiny bit, but besides that, yeah, I think at 100% this is good enough. Okay. Now, for how easy this part of the sleeve is going to be, if we just go... I'm checking my distances here. I can just go... a little bit too far away. And a whoop. Look how much smoother those lines are. Clean up the spots that are being overlapped here. And that guy over there, I want to be in actually a dark shadow. So we'll paint him the correct color. There. Okay. Oh yeah, and same with these guys over here. I should do that now before I forget. Pop. All better. Okay. Now then, looking at other places that have lines. I wanted some around this. Do I want any up top here? I don't think I do. Yeah, I don't think I do. I'm thinking about it, but I don't see how it would wrap around the shoulders nicely. I would have to end it, like, right around there, and I think that would look strange. So I think this is actually fine just like that. So in that case, I just have the two that are going to go around the frills here, you know, the spots going down here. And it looks like there aren't any more, which is good for me. Less lines to draw. I'll take it. How far apart are they again from the edge? They're pretty close. Okay. Here goes nothing. Oh, wrong color. Oh god. It's okay, this pattern only exists on the jacket and the boots, I guess. I do not have to do any of this for the marshmallow or any other part. once I get this line done, I am free unless I decide to draw some expression shots. Which I might, because it sounds kind of fun. I have some ideas. We'll see how many heads I can draw today. Okay, go up and around. Pet, 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 but it's okay. I'm doing my best. Okay. Up and over. Didn't quite get this one. I just kept getting a little bit too far away from the edge. But there we go, there's one. One more. Nope. Just one more and I'm free. Look, drawing lines is hard. My sympathy for people that do line art. I'm pretty sure I have like a modest stabilizer on this, but I can't have it too high. Hello there, Sophie. Welcome. Pretty sure I have a modest stabilizer on my brush, but I can't have it too high because I use it for regular painting too. And it would drive me nuts. But for now... line. Being a little quiet because drawing straight lines is actually really hard. I guess these are technically not straight, but they're kind of supposed to be. It's just the thing that they're on is curving. There we go. I think that's good. that should be fine. Alright. Let's see. Am I missing anything here? Does it look lonely? I don't think it looks lonely. We'll see how I feel in like 5 minutes after staring at it for a bit, but I think this is about what I want here. Okay. The lines are actually much more visible over on my other side, which tells me I made these too thin. So even though it's not lonely, let's go ahead and thicken up some of these. It's a little bit easier now that I'm just tracing. So hopefully that'll make it a little bit less painful. But I just want them to be a little bit nicer looking. And I want you to be able to see them when you're zoomed out. At least a hint of them. That's actually pretty important. And they were nearly invisible when I was zoomed out there, so I would like to make them a little bit thicker. I went ahead and compared the ones that I did at the bottom on this back view compared to the ones that I did in the front view, and indeed, they were much thinner. Which is probably why I couldn't see them. Let's go ahead and thicken them up. Let's go ahead and thicken them up. Okay, I was so focused on getting them accurate, I'm not surprised that I just made them a little bit too thin. Okay, bottom part. I have to kind of put my arm in a weird place in order to get down there. Okay. Now we'll go around the inner one. I'm hoping it won't look too blobby when I zoom out here, but I think it looks pretty alright. Yeah, I think it looks pretty alright. Okay, and the bottom part again. Okay, and even here, I think I will thicken them up just a little bit. Okay. And back down here. So I get one more shot to make this a little bit more consistent around the edge here. And it is indeed much easier once I have this thing to trace. So it is good to just get it down. Even if I draw it a little bit too thin, thickening it up is super straightforward. Super duper straightforward. Okay, and a little bit more. Okay, last one. I am so glad I didn't have to draw a ton of lines. Less on this side than there are on the other. This one's way harder than anything on the other side, though, so I guess that makes up for it. So I'm just gonna gently take it all around. This is the part of rendering that is perhaps a little bit less relaxing. But it must be done if I want these pretty patterns on my clothes. And I do think they are pretty. It's amazing how much of a difference these tiny little patterns like this can make. Okay, there we go. Now I should be able to see them when I zoom out. Yeah, no problem. That's much better. Okay. So there we go. I think that's the jacket and her entire upper body, really. So let's see. The marshmallow. I do want it to look the same on the back as the front, so this is fine. I'll just go ahead and put in some shadows from the hair and the jacket. The hair is going to need a darker shadow just to separate them a little bit. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put it on with the normal color here. Well, do I want to do it like that? Huh. I left you this messy. No, we're not doing it like that. That is way too messy. I don't think I ever properly cleaned that up then. Whoops. Oh, well, I'm glad I looked over. I'm just looking at this like, no. No. Absolutely not. There we go, that's much better. That did indeed just look like a placeholder shadow to me. I think I just never properly zoomed out the shadow from the jacket. Oh, that's okay, I did it now. These things do happen sometimes. Alright. Back to the back. Make it a little juicier. There we go. Okay, but nah, I think I'm gonna make my life easy. I'm just gonna use the dark shadow. I need to separate the hair from the dress here. Okay, and then I will get the pink shadow color, and that also reminds me that I need to pink the hair as well. I'll go ahead and do that now. Because let me see, where does it start turning pink? Lower than what we see here. Okay, never mind. I don't have to pink the hair. We're good. In that case, I don't even need the airbrush. And I can just go ahead and select the shadow. Grow the selection by a pixel, and paint in my shadow color right there. And now it's a consistent shadow all the way through. Hooray. Sometimes things really are just that easy. And then me being me, I thought it was a blobby in a couple of places, so I'm just kind of smoothing that out just a little. Just a little. Okay. And then I just gotta go over it a few times to make it smooth. Okay. And so I think that's the dress. That one was pretty easy. Just gonna do a quick stretch because next, it's time for feet. And I'm not very good at drawing feet. So it's time for me to actually figure out how this should all look. I kinda had it sketched out, but man, that's still gonna be a lot to clean. Alright, let me think about how I want to go about this. I think the first thing I'm gonna do is fix the width of this leg. It is a bit skinny. Where are my legs anyway? Here you are. I think it is just a little bit skinny and it is throwing off the proportions of the boot itself. So I'll get it just right here. And from there, okay. And from there, that should make it a little bit easier to figure out what I want to do with the boot. Okay, so now I have to picture in my head how this will wrap around the foot. And it's a little bit hard because with the way I have the shoes designed, they have, you know, little cat ear triangles in the front. And then they go down and around. And then the back is lower than the front. It's gonna do something like this, and then it will wrap around, and yeah, we get ears. So basically, kind of like that. That's the super quick and dirty version, which means, like, if this was a normal shoe, I think I would need it to turn this way. But how does that interact with my design? That is my question here. Feet. I hate drawing feet. And yet I keep doing full body stuff. It's alright. Someday I will get good at drawing feet. Let's go ahead and do this one. This one's at an angle that's a little bit easier to understand. So maybe it'll help me understand. Is that the right way? I think Yes. Yes. I had to think about it for a second, but I do think that that perspective is correct. So now it's just a matter of... I don't know. Getting those edges right. Getting the edges nice, and showing off where the heel is supposed to be, which is like right about there. I'm adding those little folds in there because I figure that's where her ankle flexes, and it'll be a little bit folded in that area. Okay. Then down the front here, it's like I said, it's a little bit lower in the back. I will show how the boot wraps all the way around a little bit later. I could potentially just put all of this in shadow if I'm so inclined, since this boot is in the back. I think I will, actually. Yeah, it's like I did it on this one, except on the toe, which I let come forward just a little bit, but I think that looks okay. So I'll just do it like that. Okay, and how loose did I make them again? They're pretty loose. Maybe not quite that loose. So I'll tuck this in just a tad. And it'll go higher as it goes around. Until it eventually turns into the cat ears up at the front there. So I do believe that this is correct. The lowest point is going to be like right there. Okay. That seems pretty good. That seems pretty good. And now I can just kind of casually draw out the rest, in theory. I'm not quite sure if all of these angles are right, but I think they look okay, so I'm gonna call it good. Let it kind of hang off the toe a little bit here. And that's gonna be this kind of rubber sole-esque part at the bottom. It kind of extends a little bit past the heel and a little bit past the toe. So, just drawing that pattern again. Just drawing that pattern again. And the little toes on this are quite large, so I think that this is accurate. Maybe I just want this part to come down a little bit further, try to get that perspective in there. Yeah, and then they're nice and round. So I'll round out the side there. And I think that's okay. That looks very foot-like. So I think I'll call it good. Okay. I will have to get all my patterns and stuff on there, but I think I will do that a little bit later, except for down here. Because this is what'll show me that my edges are good, and indeed, they are just a little bit off here. So now I'll have a little bit more of a consistent width through there, and I can extend this off properly. And get the heel in the right spot even. We're just gonna do all the things. Okay. And then there's these little divots in there. Let me remind myself how I did them. Just 3 on each side. Yes. Yes. Okay. So I will find the center point first, which I think is right about here. And then divide it in 2 again. And then back here, I think we are seeing the entire back. But it's highly in perspective, so the center will be a little bit off-center. Let me straighten out the back just a little before I go in there and do that. So I'll have a spot like right here, I think. The next one will be here. And the last one will be over here. Okay. And now I just gotta figure out this nonsense. Okay. Time for some nonsense. Okay. Let's really dig into this. So I'm probably gonna have to add some parts of the decor here and there just so I can maybe understand what I'm looking at. Because man. Feet are hard. But I think this kind of shape should be good. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of the little divots here for now. I will add them back in later once I'm a little bit more confident in the shape of the foot. Okay, I want to kind of make the toes wider than the rest of the foot there. I want all of the toes to just be very firmly on the ground. And then the heel will also get a little bit wider again. And it'll be nice and round. I just have to actually draw it. But let's get the bottom of right here first. Let our toes roll up. Let things kind of roll into the background there. Okay, so this is her toes in theory. Okay, I'll have fun outside. Okay, gonna get the toes in perspective here. Is eating watermelon not fun? Okay, that seems alright. Now let's see. So this represents the sole of the shoe. So let's curl it around the toes a little bit here. Yeah, that's looking nice. Okay. That is looking quite nice. Now let's see if I can get the roundness of the heel in there. Yeah. Yep, that's a nice round heel. I haven't decided what I want the bottom of the shoe to look like, but I always have fun designing the little, I don't know, teeth that kind of come out of the bottom of shoes to help you grip on the ground. So you can bet that I'm going to do a pattern for that here, and I think I'll actually, like, separate that out and I don't know, just kind of have it out there as its own thing. So, like, I'll draw a shoe out here. And we can see what it looks like on the bottom, very specifically. I think the heel is a little bit higher than this, so let's extend it. I want it to be a little bit more square. A little bit more oblong on this side. There. Does that look like a good step? That looks like a pretty good step. So I think I'll call that good. Now then, back to kind of the outside here, because, like I said, this is kind of a weird shape. Normally, it's like if it was the same width all the way around, this would be the kind of shape that I want, but it is not. Or the same length, I guess I should say. It is lower in the back and higher in the front. So I'm still thinking about how that interacts back here. So I think I'll flatten this just a little bit. And kind of start rolling it up this way. And I think that is correct perspective for here. It'll just be flatter than it otherwise would be. And I will add... Actually, I think I should make this a little bit wider. They are pretty loose boots. They are pretty loose. Let's wrap this around her ankles nicely. Let's see, the little folds on her ankles I think should be a little bit higher up. This is more the roundness of the heel, which should also incidentally be a little bit lower to match up with this part. Which will make the fold from her ankle, like, right up here. And I think I want him on this side, too. Okay. Yeah. That's going somewhere. Still gonna make this a little bit flatter. And then I can take this dark color and make it clear that this is the inside of the boot here. And it's going upward. Because it is higher on that side. So how's that look? Not quite, huh? Do I have to kind of do it like this? Let's try again. I'll try it the more traditional way and see if this gives me a better impression. Yeah, I guess that's a little bit better. Is that a little bit high? I think it is, actually. I will just take this whole thing here and push it down just a little. That doesn't look right to me. Maybe I should go all in on my design and just go like that. Let it be super concave there, but then her ankle looks like it is dying if I do it like that. Okay. Thinking noises. Perspective is hard. Nah, I think what I had before is probably pretty alright then. Okay, I'll call it good. I'll call it good. Okay. Yeah, I think that looks pretty okay. So let's see here. What patterns are we gonna see? Let's go ahead and I'll smooth out this front part a little bit more. And then I'll go ahead and add the shadows. Okay. So I'll put shadows on the side here. A little bit here. It's kind of the bottom of her foot. Okay. And then just folds going across. Do they need to face that way? Should I draw them more that way? No, this is fun. This is fine. Yeah, this is totally fine. That's okay. It's important to think about these things. Okay, there we go. I think that is just fine. Yep, okay. I will need to add the rest of the patterning there, but I think I would like to actually figure out what these patterns look like over on this side. And over here, I think we only get a tooth, like, right here. And this is the only one we see. And then there will, strictly speaking, be some kind of going up the side of her foot here. So maybe I should go ahead and draw those. I think it's something like this. One of them I actually have to draw on the decor itself. There. Okay. And here. And up here. On the back. This is the middle. So it'll look kind of like that. And then the front ones are going to be like on the toe in the front, and we don't see that. Let me go ahead and let this little piece stick out just a little bit, because it is slightly larger than the toe. And I will want this front part to be in shadow, so I will do that now. Okay. There we go. Now I'm gonna design the back over on this side first, because this side is a little bit easier to understand. And what I was debating is, do I want this to be like a solid circle, or do I want it to be more like my initial design? And I do think I like the solid circle. Just kind of going from corner to corner there. Clean up some stray dirt and all that, and get everything nice and smooth. Nice and smooth. Okay. Up and around, and I do think I like this one circle. It matches what I have going on in the front very well. So I do think I want to design it like this, and I'm just trying to find the angle that this should be sitting at, and roughly where the center of the circle is. I gotta get rid of this line because it is throwing me off. Because that's not where the center is. The center is more like back here. And so I gotta treat that like the center, so it'll curve more sharply on this side, and less sharply on this side. Just due to the perspective that we're seeing this circle at. So I'm trying to get that curve. Trying to get that in there. I'm going to erase all of this too. There we go. That's looking pretty good. Okay. And I realize that I need to fix some of this here. Oh yeah, that's because I had this part on a different layer here. I needed it to help me with something. There. That looks pretty nice. Alright. And now I can carry on with what I was doing here. Get my circle in. Get another one back up here at the top. And then these lines will connect. And I'll throw in some little folds just to show where I picture this boot folding at the ankle. Just, you know, from regular use. In this kind of boot, you would get those kinds of little folds. And then my two lines that wrap around the back of the boot here. I'll do it this side first. Yeah, that side is a little bit easier to picture. It is. This side is like angling upward really rapidly. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay. And then I think I wanted the 3 circles that I use in lots of places on this design. Just kind of like that. Yeah, I think that's pretty cute. And I think that's about all it needs. Oh yeah. And I did have 2 lines going across the bottom. So you know what? Before I draw those 3 circles, let's draw those 2 lines. I think that'll make my life a little bit easier, because I can make sure that my 2 circles will not overlap my lines here. This is a really chonky line. I hope it's okay. And then I do think that we will see just a little touch of the egg bit on her toes here. So I will draw that too when the time comes, but first I got lines. And I've already established. I am screaming on the inside here. Freaking lines. Why do they have to look so good? It's alright. I have like 1 set left to draw here after I do these. The ones that need to go in this foot. Oh gosh. There we go. This is looking alright. I just gotta be careful about their placement. I really want to keep them equal distance from each other all the way around as much as I am able. Okay, there we go. I think that's fine. Yeah, I think that's fine. Let's go ahead and add my circles. 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. Okay, and I think I will add the little egg thing on the toe here. We really only see like a tiny, tiny corner of it. Let's see, where's like the center of her toes here? So I think it's something like that, and that's about all we see. The rest is just like on the other side of her foot and blocked by the side. Okay, there we go. I think that's all I have to draw for that. Okay, and then the little paw thingers. Those we see a little bit more of, because we do kind of see the entire edge of her toe here. So that'll be like that. And I think that's as much as we see there. I think my perspective is actually a little bit off on this. Where's the middle of her toes? Like right here. So that means there's going to be like one right here that we barely see. And one right here that we see a little bit more of. But we don't really see the front of her toes. So I think this is all of those circles that we see. Yeah, that looks all right. Okay, so now I just got to get this foot. I have everything designed. Now I just have to draw it. And so with the perspective here, this heel shape. It'll start like back here, I think, and it's gonna sharply go up because we're not gonna see much of it. Her heel is kind of being bent around here. But all three of those little divots are gonna be within the shape of this heel part. So I'm making sure to draw that in. This is why I wanted to do it over here first, where it was a little bit easier to understand. And then I just want to make sure that it is very quickly ramping up there. We do not see very much of the back of her heel here. Not at all. Actually, no, you don't go through this one, do you? You go through these three. Okay. That actually does make more sense to me. That does make more sense to me. Okay. Let's try that again. So it'll be something... It gets higher in the back there. It's a little bit longer than this. And it wraps. There we go. Okay, we wrap around like this. Okay. And then there's going to be a line going up the back. This is roughly the middle. This is where the folds are. Going up the middle. Let me see, is that correct? I think the middle actually... I need to pull this out a little bit more like this. Just due to perspective. And the middle's like right here. There we go. That looks a little bit better. And then there's going to be the circle on the top here. About that size. And the lines. Alright, but I want this part to all be light now. Once it gets kind of out of the weird perspective. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. We wrap around. And around to the other side. Okay. And then there's going to be some kind of going around her foot down here. It's going to be real close to this heel. Practically overlapping, and I want to use the dark color again. In fact, I'm going to go as far as to say we only see one of the lines. You see maybe a little hint of the second one through here. But here we only see one of them, I think. And it's going to be real close to everything. And just a little hint of the second one there. The circle that's on the line is like right here. That'll make this one like right here. I think I made them a little bit small. Let me try that again. This one's like right here, and this one's like right here. And I think that is accurate. Phew! Adventures! Okay, and I don't think we see any of the paw lines there. They're all on the front. So there we go. That is feet. Let us design the bottom of the sole of her shoe here. I think what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to hold off on doing that right now. Well, I probably am going to do it right now, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the bottom of the shoe just on its own here. Huh. Hello there, Vivi. All right, well, good luck cleaning your room. Did you have fun at the convention? Okay, but yeah, I think I'm just going to pull that out separately and just have it as a detail. I'm debating on whether or not I want to draw the shoes from the front and the side as their own separate asides. I'm not actually sure if I need to. That's why I'm thinking about it, because I don't know if I want to draw more feet. Yeah, I think it's fine. So I'm gonna come and make another category. And this is gonna be extras. So backside, like, technically done. I just want to add the pattern to the bottom of the shoe, and I'm gonna design that now. So let's see, what do I want the bottom of the shoe to look like here? It's like flatter than most shoes that I draw. Anyway, we got toes. And we got a heel. And it's kind of roughly this shape, I guess. Well, I'm glad you had a good time. And yes, I guess that's the downside, liking less common things. You find less people to talk about it with. Alright, let's round off the toes there, because I think I have them pretty round. I guess they're a little bit square. And I think, but that's just because I can't draw feet, so I'm still going to keep it round. Okay. Down and around here. And then it expands outward quite a lot around the heel. This is not what a foot is shaped like, but that's just because this boot is super loose. Okay, and I think this illustrates the shape quite well, and we'll see if next time I would like to be good and maybe draw a front and side view of the shoe, but I don't know, man. I think we get a good shot of the front right here, and a good shot of the back right here, so I don't know if I need to. But still, it's a good thing to think about, and by doing it next time, I can hopefully get myself in a state where I'm a little bit less lazy. Okay. Now I'm just going to get this shape nice and smooth, and I will draw what I'm going to put on the bottom there. And they are going to look like little paw prints. I'm actually going to check Google to see if we ever get a shot of the bottom of Kyubey's feet, and if he has little paw pads. See if he has cute little cat-like paw pads. You can bet that I'm going to use that for the bottom here. I just don't want it to be blobby. There we go. Shave off a few pixels here and there, and we'll work out all those little blobs. Get everything nice and round, because Kyubey must look like a marshmallow. Very important. Okay, and that should be fine. Alright, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and look to see if I can find a shot of Kyubey's paws. You got little paw pads. That's what I want to know. Actually, I cannot find a shot of the bottom of his feet. Yeah, I don't actually see any. Okay. I could have sworn that we saw the bottom of his feet while he was running once. Let me see if I can find that screenshot. So I could have sworn that we saw them once. But if I can't find it, I'm just gonna make something up, and it's gonna be cat. It is gonna be full-on cat, because cat paws are adorable. Okay, well, I don't see anything, so I guess I will just look up cat paws instead. Alright, so we're gonna do something like that, and I'll probably include some other shapes as well, since cat toe beans are a little bit smaller than what I'm going for here. Okay. Let's get some cat toe beans in there. So they're kinda... Let's see. We got, like, the big circle in the middle here. And smaller ones on the outside. And then there are 4 beans, which I will be elongating quite a lot here. Okay, I need to actually plan this a little bit better to evenly divide this into 4 groups. Okay, there we go. We're gonna have extra long toe beans here. Extra long. And I am still trying to get them be closer to the same width. Right now they're a little bit off. Okay, that seems pretty okay. And then because I perhaps have a slightly masochistic tendencies, I'm gonna put 2 lines around the edge of the shoe here. So I want to make sure that I have room to put them. Okay, so time for some more lines. Because I sacrifice for the sake of design consistency. Let's go. Let's go. Oh god, and it's round 2. Alright. At least these ones I want to be a little bit thicker. I am going to have to make more adjustments to those paw pads after I get this in there, but that's alright. I will take care of that after I take care of this. Then I'm going to have to draw this onto here. Good luck, me. It's alright, I got this. But then I'll be done with feet for now. For now. Okay. All the way around. And I'm gonna have to go in and smooth this out, I can tell. That's okay, I can do that. I think I'll smooth it after I draw the next line. And then I will smooth them together. This one's a little bit close to the edge. So I'll go ahead and correct that before I attempt to draw the next one. Definitely want this one to be accurate before I build on it. Okay, that seems pretty alright. Okay. Time to do the next one. Time to do the next one. And of course, anytime I'm drawing lines like this, I find it pretty hard to talk at the same time. This is like the one thing where I cannot draw and talk at the same time. So let me get this in there. And then I will continue on. Alright, about halfway through. This one looks less messy, so that's nice. I'll probably have a little bit less to clean. Almost there. That wasn't so bad. That wasn't so bad at all. Alright, let's clean this. Because man, is it a little bit blobby. It's all good. I'll get it nice and smooth now. I don't even think it'll be that hard to do. This is why I wanted to do it together. So that's why I only have to go all the way around once, maybe twice, depending on my mood. And how I end up handling each individual piece. And I don't actually think this will be too bad to actually draw onto her feet. But it's not quite done yet. I want to put some more stuff here. I need to make sure that the shoes will grip the ground properly. So we're going to add in some other patterns. Probably some circle patterns. I don't know why I like designing the bottom of shoes so much, but I do it on, like, every character design that I do. You know, assuming the character's wearing shoes. I didn't do it on mine because my character, you know, Planckera, not wearing shoes. So, didn't need to do that. Very true to real life. I never wear shoes around the house. And because I rarely go outside, it means I basically never wear shoes. Okay. Oh man. Getting lines equal width all the way around. It takes a little while, but I think it's worth. They look a little bit more like trim when they're the same width all the way around. And I just need to work out all the blobs. It's like kneading dough. You don't want blobs of blobby dough, I guess. You can tell I don't cook. But no blobs allowed. Everything must be smooth. Completely smooth. Okay, so that's most of the way around that side. Let's start going down this way before I get to the bottom. The bottom is just a little bit more of a pain to work through. Just due to the angle. I have to put my arm in a weird position in order to draw it down there properly. I feel like this isn't technically the same width all the way around, but it's close enough that I think it's fine. Okay. Here we are, all the way at the bottom. And don't worry, it disappearing for a second was just because I hit Control X instead of Control Z. I fat-fingered my button. Okay. There we go. Just going through the bottom now. And then all will be smooth. And I can finish deciding the rest of this. Okay. So there we go. We got something resembling paw pads here. I actually don't like this bottom part, so I'm gonna redraw it. Gonna take another look at cat paws, and I just realized that there are some more blobs here that I would like to work out. So, gonna do that first, and then I'll look at cat paws. Look, it's nice when you can draw something that is cute, because then you can go look at references for cute things, and just be like, man, that's cute, and you get to look at all kinds of cute things. It's great. Perfect excuse. I've been liking more cat videos on Twitter lately, just to try to reintroduce cat videos to my feed. For a while, it was all illustration all the time, and while that was nice, I missed the cats. So I'm glad they're back. Look, if I'm mindlessly scrolling Twitter, which, you know, is not something I exactly do often, it's because I want more cats in my life. Alright, let's smooth out these little toe beans here. How do they turn, anyway? Yeah, so we got, like... Oops, that's right. This is all one layer. It's a little bit more like this. Let's add a little toe bean curl in there. Yeah. Yeah. That is perfect. And I'll do the same to the ones around the edge here. Just a tiny little curl to it all. The tiniest of little curls. And naturally, proportionally, these are way too long, but I want them to cover the entirety of her toes. So they have to be a little bit long, just because human feet are so long. So this is gonna go up until, like, the arch of the heel. And that is what I'm going for here. Okay. Look, I don't want to go hunting for my cute cat. I just want the cat to be there. Why would I want to work for the cute cat? I just want to see cute cats doing cute things. Okay, there we go. I think that's fine. Let's go ahead and draw the back now. So, go look at more cute cats doing cute things. This time I want it to cover, like, the entire heel, so once again it'll be elongated. Oh. Kitty wants attention. So they had this kind of shape here. Got the big bean in the middle and then little beans on the side. And it looks kind of like a big nose. Yep, this works for me. Okay. And once again, I think I want some lines in them. So we're just gonna keep up the lines here. Because I can't stop. But I want there to be a little bit of texture, right? So this way it'll properly grip the ground. So I don't want everything to be too solid. So I think it makes sense to have these little lines in here. Okay. Honestly, I still don't know why I think designing the bottom of shoes is so satisfying, but it is. So I always do it. Okay, so just gonna casually go around all these twice. I might do some on the outside too, I haven't decided yet. But I know I want the inside done. And I'm still not sure what I'm gonna put in the middle, but I'll put something there. Something will go there at some point. Maybe that's where I'll put the Kyubey egg or something. I don't know yet. There we go, and one more here. And then just one more bean. One more long bean. Let's see, what do I want? What else do I want to do? I'm not actually sure if there's enough room for more lines here. But I'll try it. There's definitely not on this side, so you know what? No. I don't think I need to put lines around these. The inside works. And I guess I should go put lines around the paw pad on the heel. There we go. Let's go do that now. And then I can figure out what goes in the rest of this space. And if I'm not sure, I can go draw something else while I think about it. Because, like, I want to draw her earring, for example. You don't really see the earrings in any of this. It's all basically covered by her hair. And I might separate out the ribbon too and show how the transparent part connects. The part that I call the veil, because originally it was. But now it's the tails of the ribbon. Man, I am like way off there. I should just start over. Okay. Let's go around here. Up here and around. Got some bumps here that is making my ability to draw the line around it a little bit more difficult, but it's okay. I'll make it through. Always do. Okay, and that should be fine. Yep, that looks pretty okay to me. What else do I want to do with you? I don't know. I do want something in the middle, but I don't know what. I don't know, should I just, like, draw some circles through the rest of this? Is that I can do something like this. And get two lines very, very easily. Do I even like that? I don't know. I'll do it on a different layer and kind of experiment. Because what I think what I'm gonna do is I'll drop it here. Decide on a rough size that I want for these circles. Yeah, something like this should be okay. And then I'm just going to pick a spot. I think I want the very edge to be free of circle. And I will draw a circle here. Ah, shoot. I moved my cursor before I clicked. There we go. Okay. So we take this, and I'm going to turn it into a tileable pattern here. And I will paste it all the way across, and I will clean it up as needed. Oh, you didn't get merged all the way down. There we go. Nope, need all the dots. All right. Let's just go ahead and get that there. I think that covers all the areas that will need dots. It's going to cover my paw pads here, but don't worry, I will free them after I get all these circles in the right place and see if I like them. And this is just a very quick way to do things like this. If I do like it, then I will go ahead and steal this pattern for the shoe here so I don't have to draw it again. But yeah, I think I like it. So let's go ahead and I will just erase around the areas that don't need the pattern. So that's going to be the paw pads and kind of the very edge. And speaking of which, I should put the little toothy bits in there. I know those are normally caused by shoe pattern, but they don't have to be. You can just have them if you want them, it's fine. Alright, just gonna treat this very carefully. I don't want to erase more than what is on this paw pad here. In fact, maybe I should invert the colors just to make it a little bit easier to see. Yeah, that definitely makes things a little bit easier to see. So hopefully now I won't erase too much. And I don't have to be quite as afraid that I erased too little. Alright. And this fills up the area very nicely, so I don't think I need any other decorations. I can just leave the bottom of the shoes here as elongated paw pads and call it good. And I do think I am satisfied with that. Okay, and let's see. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I want to do with this, but no, this design is very simple, so I think it's actually better if I don't do too much. Just gotta keep it simple. Gotta resist that urge to just keep adding more things. Because trust me, there is always an urge to add more things. Sometimes I just want to be done, but most of the time it's like, oh, it would look cool if I did this, and it might look cool if I did this too, and maybe if I added this thing, and then before you know it, there's just too much stuff, and it looks bad. You gotta show restraint in character design. But over-designing is just always so tempting. Always. But that is one thing that I really liked about Madoka Magica's designs. They are very simple and elegant. They are so good. So I gotta make sure that I don't overdo it here. Follow that design philosophy. Only put in what you need. Nothing more. Absolutely nothing more. Okay, and now I'm going to go around the edges here. Take them off. Or all the way around. And then I'll see how it all looks. And see if it still looks good or if I need to do something else. But my quick and dirty version did make me think that this was gonna be it. Just some circles and a cute little cat paw. Alright, I'm gonna do the very bottom last, as I've been doing, because that is the area that I kind of have to contort my arm to do right. I guess I kind of do have to do it at the top too, but I don't know. Something about doing the top first just feels right, so I do it anyway. And it sounds like this that I'm glad that I can just duplicate my layers and make quick patterns like this, because man, this is a lot of circles. It didn't really hit me just how many I was making until I had to go and clean them up. And I created the entire thing in like 30 seconds. It's fantastic. I love digital. You can just do what you want. All the more reason to show restraint to my design though, because I really can just do what I want very quickly. That kind of power is very scary. Okay, now I guess it's time for the very bottom. Here we are. At the end. And hopefully, this will be the last little bit that I draw here. Because I think that this should look pretty good. The kind of thing that is fairly simple, but looks pretty complex. Yeah, I think that's fine. Just a simple texture and then the paw pads. Yeah, I think I'm gonna roll with it. Let me go ahead and put in where the little teeth marks are. This is gonna be... Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna merge this. Okay. So we got one in the middle. One between each of these paw pads, I'd say. And then kind of the same on the back. We got one in the middle. And then one kind of matching where the paw pads are. And we got one here. One kind of coming up by the toes there. One here. Another one here. Right there. Yeah, I think that's correct. And right about there. Okay, there we go. And that is the bottom of the shoe. Let's go ahead and draw it on the real one. I probably shouldn't have merged it if I was going to do that. Whoops. Oh, that's fine. I can just grab a piece and copy it. Okay. Let's do that then. I'm going to have to make these a lot smaller anyway. I need to copy from up here and then paste down here. Alrighty. So I'll just plop this down first. Get it, like, relative size. I think they're gonna be pretty tiny. Yeah, it's like barely even noticeable. Okay. So that means I don't really have to worry about lining it all up perfectly. I just plop it down and it should be fine. Plop it down and it'll be fine. I just need the hint of texture here. Okay, and then we clear all the parts not part of the soul, which I think will be easier if I go ahead and just use a selection to grab the parts there and delete accordingly, since I did shade it a different color. So there we go. I inadvertently made my life a little bit easier. Such things are always nice. Actually, I'm not going to merge that. I'm going to copy from down here. Alright. And this should give me enough to do, like, everything else. Perfect. Okay. Okay, and now I just gotta get the other details on there, which, you know, shouldn't be an issue. Let's see here. Gonna do the line first, which is gonna do something kind of like this. And just due to the nature of all of this, I don't think I have to be super precise. I say as I'm super precise, but it's okay. It's okay. The next thing I'm going to draw is an earring, and that's going to be nice and easy, so I'm kind of looking forward to it. Have a nice little break after drawing all these complicated things. Okay, and just run those lines there. They're almost done. We're not really going to see the toe beans. I guess we might see a slight hint of them right here. I'll go ahead and do that just because I think it'll be cute. And then something being cute is a perfectly good reason to do it, so there we go. Okay. So there's the slight hint of bean. Let's go ahead and draw the back part here, which is just a big circle that goes maybe almost halfway down. And then the two smaller circles. And then the lines on the inside. Because I just keep drawing these lines on everything. Literally everything. Okay. Unfortunately, this is nice and small, so this is all good. Okay, and there we go. There we go! That is some completed feet, and oh man, am I glad to be done with them. Alright, I have a spot on her leg that I need to fix, but otherwise, I think that is a completed back view. With extra foot decoration. Yeah. So there we go, we got the front and the back. Phew! Alright, I don't think I have too many accessories that I really feel the need to pull out and draw separately. I want to do the ribbon. We turn the veil back on there. I know I want to do the ribbon. I know I want to do the earring. But do I really need to do anything else? I might do the gloves, just to show what they look like at the base of her wrist. They are, I do picture them being a little bit frilly. Have some Kyubey ear design thing going on. But besides that... yeah, not really. This design is very simple, so everything is pretty clear on it. And it's... I like, don't have any patterns or anything on around the soul gem or anything, it's just the nice little tear shape. And then all this is good, and yeah. I was considering whether or not I want to do that next time and go into some other stuff, but you know what? If that's all I'm gonna do, I might do the feet, the boots separately and show them from the front and the side a little bit more clearly. We'll see how lazy I feel next time. But, yeah, for now, let's just get our big old hoop earrings out here and go from there. Oh, what is this? I think this is some head residue. Sure is. Okay. Definitely don't want any of that. Alright. So basically, what I'm going to be doing now is I'm doing close-ups of, you know, her various accessories and stuff. I just talked about all that. And then I'm going to make a spot where I do a color swatch to show which colors that I used here. There aren't very many. And from there, I'm going to arrange everything on the page and make it shiny. Put in a border, and if I'm feeling like it, I'll draw some expressions. Probably like 3 with different emotions. In this case, this being Kyubey, a being that doesn't actually have them and is perhaps just taking this form to have a human face. Better manipulate teenage girls. I would make them slightly off. They would feel a little strange. So that might make them fun to draw, honestly. Okay, but first, let's just get an earring. It's not super thick, but not super thin, so I'm gonna say somewhere around here. Oh yeah, and I was also thinking about designing a weapon. I might still do that. We'll see. A lot of this comes down to how much random stuff do I want to do before I call it done. And, you know, that is entirely up to me. And however long it takes me to decide what I want to draw next. Speaking of which, I think I'm going to put up a poll on the channel of which kinds of things you guys would actually like to see. So, look for that after stream. I will do that right after. Okay, so there we go. We got that little clasp. And then I just have the simple little red gems on them. Okay. I'm not going to shade it, but I will make them shiny. Nope, I'm not even going to do that. I'm just going to leave it. Okay. So there we go. That's the earring. All I'm doing there. Let's go ahead and do the gloves next. So the gloves are identical. So I'll draw one hand, I'll draw it completely, and then I'll duplicate it. And I'll even draw the backside. Because why not? So I will first just kind of draw out the hand here. I guess I have it going this way. I guess this is the left hand. Fine by me. And then it just kind of goes in and fans out very slightly at the bottom. And we got the little Kyubey ear thing going. Or just like a little spiky. Like this. I think the pinky is a little bit long, but besides that, it seems fine. Alright, let's make these fingers look more finger-like now, as opposed to like little sausages. Fortunately, a hand just kind of splayed out like that is super easy to draw. I do not have any weird perspective shenanigans or anything at all, so I just plop it down and it's generally pretty okay. I say generally because, I mean, it's still a hand. But they're pretty straightforward. Hands aren't so bad once you get to know them. Okay, this finger's a little bit long. Let's go ahead and chop it down. And we'll pull it out there. Okay, and I mean, this is completely disproportionate, but that's fine. I'll go ahead and fix that, and then I can add, like, my designs and stuff, and I guess this is the top side of the hand. I don't have anything going on in the palm, so when I duplicate this to show the palm side, there's not actually going to be anything on it. Maybe some lines, because I don't have enough. More accurately, some lines probably yes, because design cohesion. I want all these pieces to look like they belong together, and those lines that I keep putting on the border of everything is one of the ways I've been doing that. Okay, so the wrist is right about there. We get a very slight fan. I don't want it to be too poofy. I don't want it to be too long either. This is probably fine. Just a slight little bit fanning out. And then I just kind of want to try to get the angles a little bit more even here because they're a little bit uneven. Make it so that each piece of cloth here looks like they're about the same length and width. That's kind of my goal. And then I'll work on the fingers again. But yeah, at the rate I'm going, I think I should be able to finish this. I think I'll have to do I might have to do the ribbon next time. We'll see. No, I'll do it without folds. This is just gonna focus on the design. This is just gonna focus on the design. And that is it. So So I don't want to add too much extra stuff. I think I want this to go a little bit higher. Let each of these little cloth parts be a little bit thinner. Okay, yeah, there we go. That's good. I think that's about what I want. Roll this way a little bit more. Let it fan outwards just a little bit. I don't know why I'm having trouble, but to be fair, I have been drawing for almost 3 hours, so... my hands might just be getting a little bit tired, and I did draw feet, so my brain might also be getting a little bit tired. These things do happen. It's too bad, because I have more stuff I wanted to draw off stream, too. Well, we'll see if I'm able to, or if I just need to take a break for today. Okay. I think that seems fine for the bottom. Let me just get rid of a couple of blobs here. And then I can go back to fixing fingers. I swear I can draw hands. This thumb is just terrible, so I'm gonna kill it. I'm a kill it. It is dead. Sometimes it's faster just to start again. And now it is massive. Okay, there we go. That's better. Trying to get the little pad of the thumb in there because that's kind of my cue for figuring out which direction it's facing. And I find them a little bit hard to draw without it. Okay, there we go. There we go. Get the base in there. Get that little pad on the top, and we'll just smooth everything out here. I don't think that's entirely correct, but it's probably close. I will take another look at it after I get the rest of the fingers here. Oh yeah, the shape of the fingertips is always how I help myself figure out which direction the hand is facing. So I do make a point of trying to get those. It's just when the hands are splayed like this, they're like facing straight up, so you don't really see them. So sometimes it takes me a hot second to get everything into place here. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit here just so I can get rid of some of these blobby areas. I can just be a little bit more precise like this. So I don't like blobs in my nice smooth edges. No blobs allowed. No blobs allowed. Okay, and now I can round out some of these fingertips, and I mean, it doesn't have to be a perfect hand. It's fine. This pinky is a little thin, but I'd like it to be good enough that it's not distracting, if that makes sense. Just that you see these giant hands on the side of the screen there and just be like, man, those hands look terrible. That's not something you want. So I just want them to be accurate enough for that. just enough for that, and that means I need the proportions roughly correct. They can't look too broken or anything like that, but pretty much anything else goes. But as smooth as I have everything else, I can't really leave too many blobs in, that kind of thing. Okay, yeah, this looks alright. Let me smooth out the thumb a little bit now. And fortunately, I only have to draw one. Because any change I make, I will just be copied over to all the other sides. Okay, there we go. I think that is fine enough. That is an extremely skinny wrist, but that's okay. How does that look? Does that look like it could belong to her? Yes, I think so. Okay. I had to make sure that the skinny wrist looked correct, but no, the way I have her wrists drawn are extremely skinny. So this seems accurate to me. So on each knuckle, and then I realized there's a blob here, and it looks really bad. Because I was looking closely at the knuckles there. Okay. That's what I was doing for real. On each knuckle, there is a little red dot. Just like that. And then I think I'm gonna have a golden circle going around the base here with red lines going into it. Just like this. Just like this. Okay, and one more set because all of these lines have been in pairs everywhere, and I don't think right here should be an exception. I don't. Gotta keep the design nice and cohesive. Use repeated elements throughout the whole thing to really do that. And this is just one of those similar patterns that I've been using throughout the entire thing, and I wish I could draw parallel lines to save my life. I hate it. I'm gonna back up all the way and just try again. Okay. I will merge them when I'm done, but I'm gonna do them on a new layer so that this way it'll be easier to erase. And you know what? I'm gonna do it with my brush that has no size jitter. I think that was part of what was getting me in trouble there. That my hand is just super unsteady today. Well, not so much today. I was doing okay earlier. But it's gotten more unsteady as the stream has gone on. I think I might just be getting hungry. Which is unfortunate because dinner time is not for a couple more hours. Okay, but this is going better. Being a little bit more consistent with my distance from the edge here. things are looking a little bit nicer. Freaking lines. I still question just why they look so good. And actually, with the way things are wrapping, this should probably be more like that. It should probably never or actually overlap with the gold part. It'll just, like, go around to the other side. Yeah. That makes much more sense. And around. And around. Go all the way around these little spikes. But they are so hard to draw straight lines, man. So hard. Okay, there we go. I think that's probably close enough. Alright. So there we go. That is what the gloves look like. Let's put these two hands together now. I want them to be at the same horizontal place, be perfect mirrors of each other. So I'm going to move it over with my arrow keys, and then I'm going to move them somewhere else, just so they're out of the way. And then I will put another set here, and this will be the palms, which will not have red dots. They will have all the other patterns, though, so I just need to erase the red dots. There we go. So there we go. We have palms, we have the back. And that is just what the gloves look like. Okay. Other stuff I want to add. I still got quite a bit of time, so I guess I can get started on the ribbon. Okay, that will be pretty straightforward. So we got a square bit here. I should give myself lots of room, because this ribbon is freaking huge. Where do I want to put all this? I don't know, man. I don't think I need my references anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and remove them. Let myself reclaim that. And I'm gonna move her over here a little bit more, just to give myself a little bit more room on the side to work. Some of these things are probably gonna get resized. That's pretty normal. But I like to draw them big at first, because then I can fit them anywhere. I can make them bigger or smaller as I need, and the bigger they are, the more clear they are. So I try to shrink them down as little as possible. There we go. Now I have a bit of extra room. I can throw the gloves over here a little bit further, and I have lots of room to draw this ribbon now. Because it is really, really big. So it does a thing kind of like this. And I think I will just draw that side and mirror it once I think it looks nice. I think that will be easier than anything else I can do. And this one might get a little bit of shading. Like, I'm not going to do the folds or anything, but I might show the separation between the ribbon and this bow knot thing. But that'll be the most of what I do here. I do try to keep these close-ups as simplified as possible. They only exist to show part of the design. And that is it. And man, my hand is not handing anymore. That's too bad. I really was hoping to draw more stuff after stream, but I think I probably need a break. Life is hard. Bodies are the worst. They don't let me draw for, 20 hours a day. Have to do things like eat and sleep. And then after a while, the hand just gets tired and it's like, no, no more. Please stop. And I'm like, why? Why do you want to stop? We're just getting started. Body has no taste, I swear. Okay, let's try to get this smooth. I think I can, even like this. Oh man, my hand wobbled. Alas. That was such a nice line up until that point, too. Okay. There we go. That seems alright. Smooth out this part. Okay, and that should be good. Alright. Before I mirror it, I can kind of cheese it a little bit and put a selection there. So that this way it doesn't go quite as far. Oops. There we go. And now I don't have to hit my arrow button for a million years before it gets into the right place. And there we go. That is a ribbon, alright. Okay. And yeah, we'll add just the tiny bit of shading around the knot here. It's doing something like this. It's this kind of bow knot that I'm pretty sure is not really how bows are typically put together, but it looks really cute, so I'm doing it anyway. And it's also like 100 times easier to draw, so that's another plus. Get that nice and smooth, and then I can work on the kind of veil part. I will not make it semi-transparent for this, though. This will show it in all its glory. And actually, I think I'm going to do the frills first. I'll get all the patterns on the ribbon itself. And then I'll do the veil part. Okay. That should be fine. I actually don't like how different they are, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this part and copy it. Look, with as symmetrical as it is, I would like to try to keep that symmetry where I can. Okay, there we go. Now then, ribbon frills. Let's get them in there so they kind of go off the edge here. And and they do frilly things. I'll just draw them because it's fine. They can look pretty much however. Anything is fine here. It's just frilly. That's what really matters. I think this is like the only place that has frills here though, on this entire design. I am very surprised that I did not put frills anywhere else. I don't know, it just didn't really suit the dress at all. I remember being tempted to put them in a few places. I think I even tried a couple more places. Like around the shoes or something. But it just didn't look very good. It just didn't suit this one. I do think they look cute on this ribbon though, so I'm still gonna keep them. Okay. Make sure I have all the gaps filled in and that everything is smooth because I'm gonna duplicate these to the other side. So I want to make sure that they actually look alright. I want to make sure that they look alright. And they aren't just blobbing around everywhere. Because it is very easy to make frills that just kind of blob around and you're just kind of loosely estimating their placement instead of trying to make them a little bit more clear. I do that kind of thing all the time because I tend to just draw blobs. And they're normally small enough that that's sufficient. It's just not the case here. Since I am zoomed in so close and they are so large. Okay. Alright. I don't want you to go all the way over there. Alrighty. Push these into place here, and then it's time to draw some more lines, because of course it is. This is already way too large, so I'm definitely gonna have to shrink it. You know what? If I'm going to shrink it, let's do it now so I don't have to draw as much line. There. I don't even think it's especially blurry, which is fortunate. Okay. Phew. Let's go. Yeah, let's get you locked onto the layer here. And at the very least, I only have to draw half. Oh god, that looks really bad though. Okay, let's try that again. I did not follow the edge very well at all. That is fine. That is also fine. Okay. Now I'll do these bottom two. Just very carefully. It's a little wobbly, but I think it... Nah. That looks pretty bad. Now that I've zoomed out, I thought it might be okay. I was wrong. nope, nope. I kept getting too far apart at the bottom, but I think that's okay. Yeah, that seems alright. Let me clean up the part that goes on the ribbon here. There we go. Or I guess the bow knot. What I meant to say. Need my selection to be a little bit bigger. There we go. Okay, and now I can push it on over. And we'll have lines, and I only had to draw 4 instead of more. Okay, and there are a couple on the bow knot, right? Yeah. I did draw a few there. So I gotta draw them here too. Trying to get it relatively symmetrical. Okay, and now it's ready for the translucent part. Which, like I said, I will not be making translucent in this close-up. I am unsure if I'll be able to finish this. But, I guess I'll try. Alright. And this one will need a little bit of shadow to separate it from the frills. So I'll turn off the frills for now. And I kind of want to decide how this actually connects back here. I guess I will actually put this on the front. Or do I want it on the front? How do I have it? Yeah, I definitely have it connecting like inside. So I'll leave it on the back. This is fine. It'll just kind of come out through here. And it goes out like this. And it becomes fatter. And once again, I will draw a 1. And then I will mirror it. And make my life as easy as I can. I think this is a bit short relative to the ribbon, so let's go ahead and make the ribbon a little bit smaller again. I don't want this to be too massive. Okay. Okay, that looks alright. Let's get the angle a little nicer right here. I want it to kind of look like it's coming out of the knot. That is how I've been picturing it in my head. And hopefully after I draw this, that will be clear to the world too. And then we have the little fingers, which are something like this. I think they're actually much thinner than that, but this is a start. Yeah, and they kinda... They're not exactly the same length. They get a little bit shorter, but only a little bit. Only a little bit. See, this is why I wasn't sure if I'd be able to finish this. This is the part that I was worried about, just getting those fingers looking okay. Okay, I'm gonna hide the frills again. So that this way I can make sure that this straight here is, in fact, nice and straight. Okay. I'm gonna put the frills back, and I will grab a shadow color just to separate them a little. There we go. And from there, I should be able to just smooth out these lines a bit. With whatever color I want. And once these are smooth, that'll be the whole ribbon. Yeah, I guess I have some decorations to place on it. But the decorations on it are very, very easy, except for the lines, which are pain, but it'll be okay. I have drawn them so many times, I will definitely be okay. I'm not actually sure how to make them look more opaque on this separated out part, since I am not making it translucent here, because I just want things to be a little bit more clear. And I think the translucency would make it a little bit less clear. But the lines on this are actually perfectly opaque. So I'm gonna have to think about that. I might just do it in a different color. This is already pretty dang close to like pure white, so I might actually have to use the shadow color for it. Doesn't explicitly make sense, but it should make their presence clear, and that's what matters. Okay, and I want these to taper off very nicely. Be very pretty little triangles. Be very thin. That's why I keep calling them fingers. They just look like fingers to me. The lovely little triangles here. Okay, and just trying to get this less blobby, because it is pretty blobby. I'm not sure if I'll be able to work out the blobs here. My brain, it is fading. Yeah, I've only got like 5 minutes left, so I think I might just finish that next time. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to finish the ribbon today anyway. But yeah, this is like the last extra bit, unless I decide to draw the feet again, which I might. We'll see how I feel next time. It's gonna be, what, Thursday? I think so, yeah. And then I'll finish the ribbon. Maybe I will do some expressions, and we can start putting the entire sheet together with all the notes and all the nice stuff that make things look nice. I'm excited. So, getting there, almost done. So I'll have a poll up on which kinds of things that you guys would like to see next. Up on the posts tab after stream, check in like 10 minutes and it should be there. Sometimes it takes me a while to figure out how to word things because words are hard. And yeah, I like how it's coming out. I think she's very cute. But the design itself is basically done. The front and back, both done. Everything else is just extra. So soon it'll be time for new things. And we'll see what I do next. I'm not actually entirely sure yet. But this is where I will stop for today. So thank you all for coming. And I hope you're able to make something wonderful today. I'll see you all tomorrow.